Hello YouTube, my name is Dragonheart, the Prince of Wales, and welcome back to the Heroes of the Old World tournament hosted by my good friend Lord Rexasaur. Now this is the second group stage, and we are in group 4, so we are accompanied by Hef, Rebel, and officially Devin. The four of us all have different factions. I'm the Vampire Count, Hef is the Dwarves, which we're going to show in this first battle today. Rebel is the Empire, and then finally officially Devin is the Greenskin. So we all came bottom of our initial group, which you saw on my channel earlier this week, and now I am up against Hef in my first battle. Now the order of battles I fought here is actually going to be different to what I'm showing. So the official kind of order is me versus Hef first, me versus Last Rebel Game second, and then officially Devin last. I actually fought Devin first, Hef second, and then Rebel last, but it doesn't really matter. I'm going to show them all anyway. So this is the battlefield. This is Broken, I think it's Broken Leg Peak or something. It's called Broken Crag Peak, Broken something Peak. Anyway, it's a nice snowy battlefield. So I'm going to show you the tactical map, show you how we line up today. So this is my army on the right hand side by here. No, I can't actually turn that, can I? That's strange. So I've got my Manfred by here on his zombie dragon. I have a unit of Crypt Horrors just behind. I then have 4 units of, well, I actually have 2 units of Skeleton Warriors and 2 units of Skeleton Spears along the front. I have a unit of Cairn Wraiths behind, while I have Grave Guard with great weapons behind here. Then on the right flank, I have Crypt Horrors, followed by a Terrorgeist. First time I've ever used a Terrorgeist, by the way, and I'll explain why in a moment. I got 2 units of Hex Wraiths as well. So that's the army I went with on this flank. Now over the other side of the battlefield, quite a tight formation by Hef. Let's actually zoom in to see what he has before we actually hit the play button. The match timer is 6 minutes 17 seconds as well. So we have Thunderers, 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 and Thunderers. So 4 units of Thunderers at the front. He has a unit of, I think it's just a Great Axe Infantry Lord. Yes, it is. And then he has also a Runesmith by there. He has Longbeards, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 Longbeards, followed by Ironbreakers. These are absolutely beast of a unit. I actually have a unit overview of these on my channel soon. 4 of them. They also have rank 1, got some experience with them, and then also Thunderers just at the rear there. So nice compact army by Hef. As you can see from this battlefield, it's very rigid, very narrow. I mean, you can flank obviously up on the mountainside around here. You can come down and hit them through the center of the thing, or go right behind and around. So it's an interesting battlefield. I'm not personally a fan of this battlefield. I fought some custom battles on here beforehand, just to try and test out some builds, and this is something which I don't like. For the Vampire Counts anyway, I think for the Dwarves it suits them better, so I feel like there's an advantage already. They can concentrate all their fire in the centre by here and do well. And Hef just messaged me on Steam right now as I'm doing this. It's quite funny. I'll have to get back to him in a moment once we show this battle. But yeah, let's hit the play button. We'll see how we do in this battle. This is the first game of the Group 4. And links to all the channels will be in the description below if you wish to see their channels. Also check out Lord Rexasaur's channel. He'll be covering all of their other battles as well in this group. And all the other groups as well. Group 1, Group 2, Group 3, Group 4. In this group, Group 4, only the winner goes through to the final. So whoever finishes 2nd, 3rd and 4th do not go through. So we have Skeleton Warriors marching forward. Now the thing is, I can't sit back. This is why I'm saying about the battlefield advantage. I cannot sit back because they have range capability and I don't. The only range I have is my Terrorgeist and, of course, Manfred on the zombie dragon with his spell. So I'm having to come forward. He can just sit there. I have to come forward to him, otherwise I won't win, obviously. Now, a reason why I picked these units, Crypt Horrors are good. They do lots of heavy damage. They're also armor piercing, as well, as you can see on there. The same with Cairn Wraiths. They're also armor piercing, and they cause terror. Graveguard with great weapons do armor piercing as well. And the Terrorgeist, which is like the beauty of this army, basically, costs a lot. Costs 2,000, I think. No, was it 2,000 or 1,000? I can't remember. But I think it's 1,000. I don't know. But armor piercing, anti-large, causes terror. So yeah, they are an insane unit to have. And then we have Crypt Horrors in the bush here, and I also have my Hex Wraiths. I'm just staying hidden for the moment. I mean, that's the thing. This is the only part of the battlefield really where I can hide. I think this side you're too far up. You can't really get into that bush enough. But by here you can. The thing is, because he's sitting, I have to come out anyway. So it's nullified really by what I'm doing there. Keep the UI on just to see how many kills we get with some of our units here. So here's Manfred right now. Just using him on the flank. I'm just looking to where his lord is, which is by there. So I'm going to use some spells. You know, you can see him using, I think it's Spirit Leech I use on him initially, just to try and weaken him a little bit. I've flown in straight away with my Terrorgeist, like an armoured tank. I can just fly the Terrorgeist in, fly him in, crash straight into the Longbeards. And okay, under heavy fire straight away. The good thing is Terrorgeist is armoured. It does cause terror, so I don't mind throwing him in there for a little bit. Just to sort of weaken them up, and while he's doing that, it gives me a chance to get my Hex Race sort of behind, trying to get them, as you can see from the line there, trying to flank them around. I'm looking at his Thunderers thinking I need to try and take them out if possible. The problem I have here is I've taken so long to get up. They take such a long time. These are on double speed as well, but they take such a long time to move that he can get some free shots in straight away. I've got Skeleton Warriors, which are not the best, obviously. Skeleton Spears, which are slightly better, going into this left flank. Manfred now has weakened their lord a little bit, but he's under heavy fire as well from Thunderers. As you can see, his health's going way down. I just can't, keep him there. He's almost half health. His armor's half as well. Not very good. Have to move him away, obviously. Now we have our Cane Race. I actually forgot to move my Cane Race, which is a big mistake by me. I brought them because they do cause terror, and of course they are armor piercing as well. What you want against dwarves are lots of units that do armor piercing, which is what I've gone for. I think the build isn't too bad, to be fair. Although there are some things I could have obviously improved upon. So the Terrorgeist are now... Well, not the Terrorgeist, sorry. Manfred, I've moved away because his health's really low. He is under fire, and he'll start to go in a moment. He's crumbling, and you'll just see him land and die, unfortunately. He's still taking fire. Got a little bit of health left, but not much. Certainly not enough. We'll try and bring him back in just to get one or two more spells. The Hex Race, I've done them... I've got them around the flank, and I've put them into the rear of Hef's army here. Thunderers a unit losing there, attacking the rear, losing decisively. So Thunderers I'm doing quite well against, but obviously he's got a mixture of troops in there, which is not going to be good, because even though they're good against the Thunderers, they're going to be bad against the Iron Breakers. Iron Breakers are really, really good, so it's quite difficult for me. Balance of power, as you can see, I've only taken about 200 or so of his men. He's taken over 500 of mine, so he's definitely got the upper hand so far. And also my Lord is now gone as well. My legendary Lord Manfred is now defeated, which obviously means my troops are going to start crumbling all over the field. I am starting to rout some of his Thunderers though. I've got my Hex Race charging around the back of the battlefield. I'm trying to get to his legendary Lord. If I could take him out, then that would be obviously a morale debuff to Hef's army. So I'm trying just to do that, just to kind of, help out a little bit there. But his line can just hold. This is the thing with the dwarves, they can just hold a massive line. This is why this battlefield suits the dwarves so much. I have to come to him as the vampire counts. He can just sit here with a massive defense and say, come at me, bro, which is exactly what he's done here. I've tried to get the Hex Race behind him, trying to turn his army. Hasn't really had the results I was hoping for. I've done quite well against some of the Thunderers, but I'm obviously getting outnumbered now and completely separated from my main army here. If I show you the kind of tactical map, you'll see how it's going. My line is sort of held, but I just can't get past that line of his. My Hex Race are just outnumbered at the back now. He's got lots of Thunderers here as well, which is of course going to be good for him. My Graveguard, 21 kills, not very good. 38 for this one by here. This one's got 8. This one's got 39. I mean, they're not getting the kills I was hoping for. I've gone for the armor piercing, but they're just outnumbered too much that they're not going to be as effective as they could be. I've gone for a little charge here on his Thunderers from the back by here. Nice little charge on the Thunderers. There, melee combat, 67. Although, looking at this, not the kills I was hoping for, I don't think. Only 22 in this Hex Wraith unit, but there. That one's only got 32. Actually, was that my Terrorgeist? I think it was. Only 32 for the Terrorgeist, which is not very good. Not really cost effective. I decided just to throw him in as a last resort against his Lord here, just to try and take him out. I've hit him on the ground, as you can see. Trying to get that Terrorgeist to attack him, but it's not going as I had hoped so far. He's now able to flank around. He's got free shot into my rear here, because I got no flank on this side anymore. So he can just get his Thunderers around and just fire into the back of me here. And as you can see, we only got 15 seconds left of the battle. And it's going to be a win for Hef here. So a good victory for Hef. I've got him down to about 800 or so, but I'm just crumbling all over the place now, as you can see. And it's going to be a pretty straightforward victory for Hef, and a great victory for him in the first battle. Decisive defeats will end the battle there. I lost everything. Unfortunately, the vampire counts, they don't have anything left. They always have 0 remaining. He lost 407 remaining there. He had 895 remaining, just under 900. And as you can see, my units did terribly. Manfred had no kills. The Skeleton Warriors had 9 and 3, that's terrible. The Spearmen had 1 and 3, that's even worse. So these were no point in bringing these at all. They just could not get past the Dwarves. I probably would have been better off not bringing these and bringing perhaps 2 more Grave Guards. Maybe, you know, just to try and boost the force a little bit. Cain Wraith only got 14 kills, which isn't very good either. I had 81 with this Grave Guard, which isn't too bad, but then this one had 60, 44, and 29, so it got worse as you got along with it, as you went along. 24 for the Hex Wraiths could be better. This one's got 60, which is a lot better. Crypt Horrors were terrible. 28 and 5, not what I was hoping for. Even though they do armor piercing, that was not what I was hoping for there. And then we have the Terror Guys, which had 33, which, you know, could be better. You look at his army, and look at this. Iron Breakers 140. I said they are fantastic, and they are. That one Iron Breaker unit basically wiped out, well, 148 men is just insane. 85 for Longbeards there, 66 for Longbeards. Pretty, you know, pretty weak all round really. Thunderers actually didn't get that many kills. You think of it, 12, 5, 12, 7, and 6. Isn't that that much? But 148 for the Iron Breakers definitely did a fantastic job there. Anyway, Hef is still messaging me on Steam now, so I better check out what he wants on Steam. But I will bring you with battle number 2 in a moment. Hello and welcome to battle number 2 against Last Rebel Gaming. This was actually the final battle I fought in the order I fought them, but it's actually the second battle of the group stage according to the fixture list, so I'll show this one second. I've got a unit of Fellbats on the right wing by here. I thought, well, the Empire may have cannons and stuff. It's probably a good idea to try and flank around and try and use them as some sort of aerial threat. I have 4 units of Grave Guard with great weapons here. I have 4 units of spears. I've gone for like a V-shaped formation. I was expecting him to be dead center, but he actually deployed to the far right-hand side, which was a bit of a surprise for me. I've got Manfred on a zombie dragon. I also have a White King by here. I then have my 2 Crypt Horrors on the left flank by here, and behind I have 3 units of Hex Wraiths. So let's start the battle. He had Empire Knights, which are really good, great swords. His front line is handgunners. His middle line is spearmen and halberdiers. Got a mixture there. Lots of great, so lots of infantry. You can see he's got a lot more infantry than me. And as expected, he does have mortars. He has 2 of them in total. He has a great cannon. He has a mortar. And then up on here, we have Empire Knights again. They're really good Empire Knights. Need to watch out for them. So anyway, he reacts to my Hex Wraiths. I thought, well, why not? Just go for it. He then decided not to charge my Hex Wraiths, but to drag me back towards his line, which I fell for, unfortunately. I also threw in my Fellbats. I wanted to try and get this right flank secured, which I basically did straight away. That flank's secured already, but you'll see now how that unfolds. We've got about 6 minutes or so to this battle as well. So I end up bringing up my lines. I'm thinking, well, he's not going to come to me. I'm going to have to come to him. I got no range. This is the problem with the vampires. They have no range. You basically have to go to them all the time. So I'm having to bring my main line forward, my spearmen, and then my Grave Guard. Bring them forward, get them to some sort of line, and then attack. I've decided to charge in with my Hex Race, which probably is okay at the moment on the initial charge. Combat's still even, which is fine. But now I probably need to try and get out there. Although I haven't got many kills, as you can see. I basically killed 2, that's all. So that's terrible. And I've lost about 3 or 4 myself. I need to get them out there straight away. My Fellbats have gone over their heads and gone straight for the mortar crew with them. Try and get them caught up with the mortar crew in the centre. Try and cause disarray in his army, in his line. I've got my Skeleton Spears now coming in to help out against the Halberdiers here. Probably not the smartest decision I made there, but we're going to try it out anyway. I've got my Skeleton Spears just going towards his main line. He has a much bigger advantage because he has the range, plus he has a very large line of infantry. I don't have that sort of infantry with the Vampire Counts, unfortunately. I've decided to pull back with my Hex Race here because they're going to lose this battle if I keep them in much longer. So I pull out with them. And as you can probably tell, I have not issued a movement order yet for my Zombie Dragon Manfred and also my White King. I left them there and forgot about them completely. I just went for it. I thought, right, I'm just going to charge in and go for it now. And I completely forgot I had them. I do move them in a moment, but they were there for a good sort of 2 minutes just sitting there not doing anything, which is rather foolish of me. I've split up his line a little bit anyway. This right flank, you know, it's not that going that well for me. I do have my Hex Race here, which I probably need to pull out as well. I've pulled one of them out by there, and I've pulled another one out by here, not to keep them in battle for too long. I've charged in my Crypt Horrors finally now against his Great Swords. It says Great Swords are losing, my Crypt Horrors are also losing. I don't understand this, losing slightly and losing. How can they both be losing? But they're both losing anyway. Got my Grave Guard charging to help out. The thing is, my first line I sent in was my weakest line. I probably should have had the lines a lot closer, so I could have had a lot more support early on. I think that's one of the main mistakes I made here. I charged in a weaker infantry first, and it was a good minute before the other line got there, which is rather similar to what I did against Hef as well, unfortunately. I charged in my Hex Race just to have a little bit of support, just to help out a little bit. Probably not the best of charges either. Got some magic going on by here. Got my Crypt Horrors, getting some magic, and as you can see, Manfred's a lot nearer. Fireball's getting shot at me now, though, from his wizard, which is right by here, his bright wizard. I think he missed with that one, but though, unfortunately for me. Now, he's there, and he's obviously consider himself to him. Now, his lord's actually by here. Is it Manfred? Not Manfred. Is it Karl Franz? I think, yep, it is Karl Franz. He hasn't got a griff or anything, though, demi-griff or anything. He's just there. Line is holding just about for the moment, but he has a lot of handgunners behind here. I need to sort them out. I realise that danger, so I've got my Hex Wraith already behind his lines. I can charge them into his handguns. Got a free charge in on them there. This one's going a lot better for me by here. Got my Grave Guard with Grave Weapon, Skeleton Spears, and more Skeleton Spearmen. Defeating the Halberdiers, they are losing decisively now, and losing slightly. We're actually doing quite well by here, although it says we're still losing as well, which is hard to kind of tell. My White King, I decided to charge in eventually, to put him towards the Bright Wizard there, which is interesting. Now my Manfred has gone to the left flank. As you can see though, he's getting attacked, got fire from his wizard attacking by here. He's trying to snipe my lord, which he's doing a very good job of doing as well. Losing decisively. I've got to pull him out. I tried to pull him out as best I can, just get him the hell out of there. Got my Hex Rays. As you can tell, I mean, balance power, I've actually taken out 500 or so of him. He's taken about 500 of me. It's actually quite close. It's still close though. Although he's got a good advantage here because my lord is about to go, as you can see. He is crumbling. You've got more fireballs coming towards him. He just missed with that one, but there, fortunately. He's actually missed with quite a few of them. You have to be very precise to use that fireball from the Bright Wizard. This line, though, is completely holding. That's actually done very well. These three by here are holding off the Greatsword, and I've got my 2 Hex Rays behind on the handgunners. That looks really good. Doing very well here. Got Hex Rays against handgunners. Although it says they're winning slightly. Look at that fire effect. They're just flying in by there. Fire just flying in. My lord is now gone though, and obviously with that it makes a, well, it gives a big advantage to last Rebel here. So Rebel has a big advantage with my lord being defeated now. Although I've held the line here, and I have sort of come onto his handgunners and done a pretty good job there. My White King, which is fighting hand-to-hand combat against his Bright Wizard, I finally was able to get him up there eventually. He's actually doing a very good job, although it says winning slightly and winning. I can't tell who's winning really, because it says they're both winning, which is rather confusing. You've got a little cluster, but here, if I show you the tactical map, you'll see how it's spawned. You've now basically got 3 main battles. You've basically got one by here, 2 behind the lines there, and 1 on the flank by there, which is rather interesting to see. I've got him down to about 800. I've halved his army. He's more than half mine. Mine's going down a lot faster, obviously, because they're crumbling. So I'm trying my best just to take as many with me as I possibly can by this stage. There's still obviously a chance I could win this, but I need to try and hold them off as long as I can. The problem I've got is the handgunners. When I keep getting them to waver, they keep coming back. As you can see, 2 of them have come back, get more shots away. This one's going to come back, going to get more shots away. I realise it's pointless eventually to fight this battle here. I need to pull everything back and get them down to this flank here, where I am actually losing a little bit here. Although my White King is holding off and doing rather well. I think he's pulled out his Bright Wizard because his Bright Wizard could not sustain that much damage, otherwise he was going to lose him. He's also got Karl Franz, the Hammer Infantry, running towards us as well. So I eventually realised the danger. I know that I can't win against the handgunners. I'm just going to get defeated a lot quicker by here. So I pull back with everything, as you can see. I'm starting to do it now. Pull back with this. Try and get them to this centre by here, where the main battle is. But we've basically tarnished each other completely. We've actually absolutely wrecked each other right now. Most of his army and line has been depleted. He hasn't got much left. I'm throwing everything into his centre by here now, where he's got my White King holding off. The White King's doing relatively well. It is losing decisively now, but it's held off for 4 units for a while by here. While I have Spearmen, which aren't the best, and Graveguard, which are pretty good, they're also losing decisively. But I'm bringing up my other troops now to reinforce. But obviously those handgunners, the fact that I wasn't able to rout them as quickly means that they're able to get back into the battle, reform, and obviously get some shots away. And as you can see, I'm starting to crumble now because it's gone on for way too long. He has about 700 or so remaining. I'm crumbling, as you can see. And there we go. They're all gone. Battle is won. A valiant defeat in the end. It could have gone either way, to be fair. I think if I kept Manfred alive for a little bit longer, I probably could have won that. But as you can see, I lost. I've obviously remaining none because they crumble. He had 907, so I more than halved his. So how did they do and how did they fare? Well, Manfred killed 13. When you compare that to his lord, who only killed 8, that's actually pretty good. My White King killed 5. His wizard killed 23, so his wizard did a lot better there. So my spears, how did they do? Well, my skeleton spears got 14, 22, 42, and 21. This one did really well with 42. The rest could have done a lot better, to be fair. You compare that to his infantry here. He's got spearmen here and halberdiers. 52, 110, 13, 144, and 57. Fantastic job as halberdier unit for him right there. My great my Grave Guard, 75, not too bad. 101, pretty good. 145, really good, and 85. So pretty pleased with the Grave Guard. They did very well for me there. His Great Swords, 126, 73, 24, and 89. So a little bit of a mixture. 24 not so good, but then 126 really good. My Hex Race, I used them much better in this battle than I did against Hef in the first battle. I got 64 kills, 89 kills, and 70 kills. Did a lot better there. My Bats could have done a lot better. I probably shouldn't have brought them. Only the 17 kills, which is pretty low for them. And this Crypt Horrors, again, it seems to be I do very well with one Crypt Horrors and do very poorly with another one. This one, only with the 6 kills, which is a total waste of money. Whereas this one got 88, which is pretty good. And yeah, that was my second battle. So now we move on to our final battle of the group against officially Devin. Hello and welcome to the battlefield. This is the final battle of Group 4. Dragonheart, the Prince of Wales with the vampire count, which is myself, versus officially Devin with the green skins, which he has along here. So we're going to start off with our opponent, see what he has. So on his left flank, we have some Orc Boar Boys. We have 3 units of those. In the centre, he has Black Orcs, Savage Orcs, more Savage Orcs, more Black Orcs. We've got Savage Orcs in the centre with Black Orcs on either flank, but there. He also has 2 Goblin Doom Divers. He also has a Grimgore, is that Grimgore? Yeah, Grimgore Ironhide, I think it is, but there. He has some Orc Araboys, plus he has another unit of Black Orcs in the rear. Good place to put them there. And on the right flank, he has more Orc Boar Boys. So he's using up his full capacity with his cavalry. Got 6 of them. Well, he's got 3 of them, rather. And 3 of them, which is interesting to see. How do I counter this? How do I form? Well, I form a rather peculiar formation. I'm using the forest to my advantage here. So I've basically got 2 units of Black Knights hidden at the start of the battle in here. I've also got 1 unit of Hex Rates and 2 more Black Knights hidden in the right bush by here. So I don't know whether he has these initially at the start, but I thought, well, if he does deploy something on that flank, I have something to counter it, which is hidden and could be a surprise. At the rear, I have 2 units of Crypt Horrors. I also have a a Vampire, and I have Manfred on a Barded Nightmare. I then have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 units of Grave Guard, followed by 4 units of Skeleton Spears. So let's start the battle. This battle is just under 8 minutes. This is actually the first battle that I fought in this group stage, but it's actually the last one on the kind of fixture card, so we're going to show it last in this video. So this is what he looks like. This is what Hef's army looks like. Very stretched out, making good use of the terrain. My army, a lot more centralized here, obviously with hidden surprises in the forestry there and here as well. So interested to see that. So I advance forward, as you can see. I'm going to show this overhead for a little bit by here. I advance forward with my army. You can see my movement orders. I'm pushing them up and up. And he's also making a little movement on his right flank, bringing the Orc Boar Boys around. He got a nice big flank maneuver there. Obviously, I'm exposed on that left flank, but I'm very, very prepared on this right flank. As you can see, I'm moving up with my Hex Race now. So let's go back to the actual battlefield. My Hex Race, I've actually moved them out just to give him an idea that I have something here. But I've actually kept the rest hidden, so he can see my Hex Race, but he can't see my my Black Knights. So I'm just waiting to see what he decides to do there. I'm still deciding to move forward. Obviously, they have the capability of having missile fire with his Orc Araboys, and also the missile fire of his Goblin Doom Diver. So if I stay there, I'm just going to keep getting hit and hit and hit. So I have to move forward again. This is the thing with the vampires. I mentioned it in the first 2 battles, but you basically have to charge forward because you don't really have much to counter. I certainly don't. I don't even have any aerial threat in this battle. I have no Fellbats, no Vargeist. I don't have Manfred on a Zombie Dragon, so I have nothing that can counter his aerial abilities. So I'm having to kind of come forward with the army and attack. I've reformed them for the moment though. I'm taking some fire. My Skeleton Spear's taking some fire. I've decided to react to the left flank and move my Crypt Horrors out here with my Vampire as well, just to kind of give him something to think about. The right flank though is interesting by here. He's pushed well forward now with some of his Orc Boar Boys. My Hex Race is still there. I'm basically saying to him, come at me bro. I got an exposed unit here, don't you want to charge it? So I'm just letting him have that option to charge, which I'm tempting him towards. I still have these units hidden, which he still has not seen yet, which is a very smart move by my count. I'm happy that his units are far enough away from his line to have exposed them. So now I decide to charge all in. 2 units to charge this one. I've got 2 to charge that one, and I've split them up completely. So that's going on over there. On this left flank by here now, he's right behind my lines with his Orc Boar Boys, but I've decided to move my Crypt Horrors towards them. just to keep them away from my main line, and I'm going to keep advancing my main line forward as that's going on behind my line. Now it says my troops have been uncovered by my foes. They've now uncovered my units which I have over here. So I'm just going to attack or try and chase down his ball boys. I've also pulled back a unit of Graveguard just in case, just to give those something to think about, not so he can get to my lines directly. Over here we have the cavalry fight going on. I have my Black Knights plus my Hex Race charging against the Orc ball boys, just losing decisively, terrified. They're going to wipe them out on that flank straight away. So it's a good cavalry charge, good cavalry play on the right flank by me. For a change, nice to say that for a change. Black Knight's combat even right now. I know he's bringing in some more Orc ball boys, so I'm to sort of hold them off here. But I can now pull them off this unit because I've made them route and pull them to support here. They are terrified. They're going to go as well. Right flank totally secured with my cavalry. Done a fantastic job on the right flank by there. So now we have Fate of Pajuna being used. Obviously there's multiple targets to use it against here, so I've used that. I'm now charging Graveguard, so the Spearmen are holding the line while the Graveguard come in for an extra charge. Obviously going to be much better than Skeleton Spears, so put them in to help out that main line by here. Behind us, they do have the two ball boys charging, but because I kept the Graveguard unit behind, I can actually counter-charge them with the Graveguard to stop them getting at my main line. I'm obviously sacrificing a unit to do this, but it should be okay. And also my Crypt Horrors have caught up with the Orc ball boys up here, and they're doing a fantastic job. So the left flank, even though I allowed him the early advantage, I was able to counter pretty well and do a pretty good job of countering what he had on the left flank. So taking the right flank and countered the left flank well, while the main line holds, which is going really well right now. Cavalry mopping up shop here. I can now bring them behind and bring them to the main line to help out. This unit of Crypt Horrors isn't doing too well. Let's have a look what they've got. They've only got 10 kills, which is rather crap. Crypt Horrors has been a mixed bag for me in this tournament, as you can probably tell. Black Orcs winning slightly against them. Black Orcs obviously been really good, but I've put up a strong fight against them and nullified them against the Crypt Horrors while I focus my attention on the rest of his lines. His general's right in the centre by here. I'm now going to push up with my main lines. I haven't actually pushed them up yet, I've just kept them there at the moment, but we'll push them up in a moment to help out. The Graveguard, as you can see, didn't do too well, but it slowed them down and did weaken them slightly, which is very nice. And my Crypt Horrors are actually chasing off the Orc ball boys, rather, but there. My Cav now, though, I was able to just charge them into this line to help out the Crypt Horrors. They can go against the Black Orcs, and done a fantastic job against the Black Orcs, which are losing. So I've done a pretty good job there. I've charged in now, well, I've been charged rather by the Orc ball boys. Good recovery by Devin here, but I think the damage has been done. Most of his line has now gone. He still has Doomdiver over here. He has Grimgore Ironhide amongst these by here, but I got lots of Graveguards surrounding him now, which means he's going to be in a lot of trouble here. He is able to have some cavalry remaining though. Some of his cavalry is getting pulled back, although not many units, only 17 and 13. I do have my Black Knights just in combat here, just holding the line for the moment, just to keep them tied down so they can't help out the centre. The centre is where I want to win the battle. He's using some magic now against me. I bring in my Wizard and my Vampire and my Manfred to help out against the Orc ball boys here. He's using some buffs to try and help himself out. Right flank looking pretty decent. They are starting to crumble now though, but the damage has been done. We've actually weakened his Black Orcs tremendously here. It only got them down to 28. I'm just going to chase down the Orc ball boys now. Try and pull back with my Cav, just to pull them out, not have them sustain too much damage. Balance power is heavily in my favour now as well. This centre, we've completely enveloped his centre here where the main damage wants to be done. I've got my Lord against his Lord. I've got lots of Graveguards completely surrounded. The Graveguard basically pushed up, defeated what was in front of them, and then wrapped around to the centre by here. He has lots of missiles and stuff, but well, it's the debris of missiles and Doom Divers around here which are routing and outside of the main battle now. I've pulled back with some of my units just to try and replenish them and not have them sustain too much damage in the centre. His Black Orcs are winning very well against my Graveguard, unfortunately, but I am able to take out his Lord, as you can see. I've taken out Grimgore Ironhide, which is going to be a massive, massive advantage to me. Only just over a minute to go. You can see now the balance of power looks like it's going to be in my favour. He does have lots of units still left, but they've taken heavy damage from the vampires. He has Orc ball boys still remaining, but nothing much left there. He still has a pretty full unit of Orc arrow boys here, but I do have a vampire which I can send in against them, and also the remainder of the Black Orcs unit. But there, my main line is just going to chase up here. Orc ball boys are over there. Going to keep chasing them. He has more Orc ball boys. I'm going to try and chase them with the Graveguard, which I've done. Just try and get the Graveguard involved in, try and get some damage done to those Orc ball boys. I'm going to pull this unit of Graveguard towards them as well, just to try and weaken them furthermore. We've got my Crypt Horrors, we've got Manfred, and we've got some Graveguard fighting against some Savage Orcs for there. And as you can see, they're all starting to rout now, and as you can see, the battle is very much in my favour. I only have 248 remaining, which isn't much, but the important thing is we have routed his main army. We've routed them off the battlefield. It was a Pyrrhic victory in the end, but a victory nonetheless, and my first victory of the tournament, which is fantastic. It was definitely worth the wait. I thought I fought that battle much better than my previous battles, and you can see that Manfred still had lots of health, plus my vampire had lots of health as well, which is something I haven't been doing throughout the tournament. 40 kills for him, 20 for the vampire. Skeleton Spearman, 35 kills, 15, 925, could be a bit better there. Graveguard, bit of a mixture really, 14, 42, 69, 60, 57, 41. My Black Knight, 17, 19, 24, 18, and 55 for the Hex Race there. Crypt Horrors, again, only 11 and 54. So the kills were pretty spread out, but I think my cavalry and my reaction to the left flank certainly helped out. They're reacting well to the left flank and also using the cavalry well on the right flank. His army actually got a lot more kills than me, you'll see. 113 for his Savage Orcs, 39, 50, 69. 27, 23 for his Black Orcs. Did poorly for a unit as expensive and as well trained and very good stats like the Black Orcs. Didn't do very well, especially this one, which is a rank 2. This one got 72, which is a lot better. Then you got 12 and 45 for the Orc Arrow Boys. Then his Orc Boar Boys, which I completely nullified early on in this battle. He went very cav heavy here, got 6 units of cav, and I was able to wipe them out pretty well. Although they did get some kills, 64 kills, 52, but not enough. And then Doomdivers obviously doing the damage, 61 and 66. So there we have it, guys. That is the end of Group 4. Now, I'm not 100% sure of the final standings of this group. I do know that Devin won one match as well. So I think me and Devin are going to be in the bottom 2 positions. And I think Hef and Last Rebel Gaming both had 2 wins. So they'll both be in the top 2. But I'm not sure of the order. I know that it goes by the men remaining, which I think is a little bit unfair. Because obviously with the vampire counts, you don't have any men remaining ever unless you win. Which of course I've won this one, so I've got 248 remaining. But that's all I'm going to have remaining. And if you compare that to this, even though I won this battle, yes, 361 remaining. Which means that if you go by that, he could finish above me just by losing to me. Well, even though he lost to me here, he won the other battle. So combined, he'd have more than me, even though... Well, you know what I mean. It's a bit confusing, but we'll have to wait and see where it happens. It doesn't make a difference anyway, because I'm not going to win. I haven't won the group, and Devin hasn't won the group either. So neither of us are going to go through to the final. It's either going to be Hef or Last Rebel Gaming. But definitely, guys, check out their channels in the description below. Also, check out Lord Rexor's channel. He'll be able to solve all my questions. He's following the tournament. He's obviously the creator of the Heroes of the Old World tournament. And he will be having all the replays on there. So we'll know more in the coming days and weeks. Anyway, guys, I've been Dragonheart, the Prince of Wales. Thank you for watching. Until next time, goodbye.